Welcome all of you in the series of videos presented related to BA first semester paper 2, that is History of Indian Education Pre-Independence. Here is another presentation which deals with Introduction of European Education in India. Here I will focus on how it all started, what triggered Britishers to work for the cause of education, and what were the attempts of Christian missionaries, and what role did Charles Grant, a British politician, played in this respect? Points to be covered here are introduction, which reflects on the views of East India Company with respect to educations of Indians, efforts of Christian missionaries, efforts of Charles Grant, Charter Act of 1793 and Charter Act of 1813. Efforts towards modern education in India can be discussed on three dimensions: the efforts of East India Company, Christian missionaries, and Indian reformers. Originally, the British came to India as trade person, but gradually they became the rulers of the country. On 31st December 1600, East India Company was established, and like all other commercial bodies, its main objective was trade. Gradually, around 18th century, this shifted from commerce to administration. Still, the company did not recognize the promotion of education among Indians as part of its duty until and unless the activities of Christian missionaries compelled the Britishers to promote Western education in India. In this respect, efforts of Charles Grant and William Wilberforce are significant. Christian missionaries wanted to promote Western education in India, for they thought on being exposed to Western modern education, Indians would start following their religion, that is Christianity. In this direction, efforts of Indian reformers like Rajaram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was another significant level or dimension which cannot be ignored. Earlier attempts of East India Company, though English East India Company showed a very little interest in the promotion of education of Indians, the only purpose of setting up some educational institutions in India was to ensure a steady supply of Indians to serve them as clerks in their offices. Several companies officials, felt that Hindus and Muslims ought to be taught what they were familiar with and what they valued and treasured, instead of subjects that were alien to them. Besides, it was thought that this was the only way British could win the hearts of natives and earn their respect. Few major contributions of East India Company in this direction are setting up of Calcutta Madrasa in 1781 by Warren Hastings for the study and learning of Persian and Arabic. In 1791, the efforts of Jonathan Denkin opened Sanskrit College at Banaras for understanding of the laws, literature, and religion of Hindus. The Fort Williams College was set up by Lord Wellesley in 1800 for the training of the civil servants of the company in vernacular languages and customs of India. Educational efforts of missionaries. Missionaries which came to India were not only from Britain but from all other countries which had their trade and commerce relationship with India. The Christian missionaries had started their educational activities as early as 1542 upon the arrival of Saint Francis Xavier. Portuguese, which enjoyed trade relationship with India for about 100 years, had their centers of educational activities at Goa, Damandiu, Calicut, Cochin, Hooghly. French missionaries had their centers at Pondicherry, Mahi, Chandranagar. Dutch missionaries at Chennai, Nagapattinam and Bengal. English missionaries' main centers were Chennai, Mumbai and Bengal. Missionaries entered the country with the sole purpose of preaching and propagating their religion. They established the educational institution and started imparting their Western education. Soon after, the movement spread throughout the land and exercised a lasting influence on Indians. In this respect, Nurullah Nayak points out in the book History of Education in India, to the missionaries belong the honor of being pioneer in the modern educational system of India. The Serampore Trio was the name given to three pioneering English missionaries, namely Joshua Marshman, William Ward, and William Carey. They selected a village, Serampore, at a distance of 13 kilometers from north of Calcutta as the center. Their fundamental work included translating of scriptures, establishing colleges. They established more than 100 monitorial schools around 1818 to 32 in this region, spreading education. This Rampur College was established in 1818 with a view to impart religious education. Missionary activities were relatively wider, but the main objective was conversion of native people to Christianity. Owing to their publication of addresses to Hindus and Muslims in which they criticized and condemned both the religions, excited the feelings among Indians. There was severe social resistance towards their activities. The contemporary Governor General Lord Minto arrested all the three missionaries and warned them against such activities. Consequently, supporters of missionaries revolted in England, and Charles Grant played an important role in this sphere. Efforts of Charles Grant, a British politician who served as the chairman of the British East India Company, wrote an essay in 1792, Observations on the State of Society among the Asiatic Subjects of Great Britain, in which he recommended that schools should be established in India and English to be the medium of instruction, free education of English language and culture, propagation of Western science and literature, and spread of Christianity. In his essay, he contended that India could be advanced socially and morally by compelling the company to permit Christian missionaries into India. This idea was against the long held position of East India Company that Christian missionaries' work in India conflicted with the commercial interest and should be prohibited. Restart of missionaries' work. William Wilberforce, a member of House of Commons, was greatly influenced by the ideas of Charles Grant. He forcefully supported the proposal and put forward in the House of Commons, where it was passed. When the Charter Act of 1793 was brought for renewal, but East India Company was against the work of Christian missionaries and refuted it. Consequently, the proposal was rejected, but Charles Grant didn't accepted it and kept on trying for it, and finally in the Charter Act of 1813, Charles Grant's plea to allow missionaries to work in India was accepted. Charter Act of 1813. The Charter Act of 1813, passed by the British Parliament, renewed the East India Company's charter for another 20 years. It means there will be continuation of East India Company's rule over India. It permitted Christian missionaries to propagate English and preach their religion. At the same time, it sanctioned rupees 1 lakh as financial grant towards the revival of Indian literature and promotion of science. Though through the Charter Act of 1813, Charles Grant was successful in getting allowed the Christian missionaries to carry on their educational activities in India, but certain confusions were still left. It was not made clear that the amount sanctioned for the education of Indians would be spent in providing Western education or indigenous education to the people of India. This again gave rise to Orientalist and Occidentalist controversy. Further discussion on this controversy will be done in my next video. Thank you.